I fear not the dark itself, but what may lurk within it. Welcome to Lurk, bringing you creepy, strange, and bone-chilling stories, with your host, Jamie Jackson.
Hey Lurkers, welcome back to another chilling installment of Lurk Stab and Gab Sunday Edition. I'm your host, Jamie, along with
Liz.
Today we're heading to Richmond, Virginia, a city steeped in Civil War history, cobblestone charm, and colonial ghosts. But this story doesn't linger in the past. It begins in the fall of 2005 on a bustling college campus under the shadow of red brick dorms and freshman dreams. Taylor Behl was just 17 days into her first semester at Virginia Commonwealth University when she vanished without a trace. An 18-year-old with a sharp wit, a passion for photography, and her whole life ahead of her, gone. At first, it seemed like a case of youthful spontaneity. Maybe she ran off. Maybe she'd turn up in a few days. But as hours turned into days and days into weeks, it became clear something was terribly wrong. Behind the dorm room doors and online profiles, investigators would uncover a chilling web of secrets, older men, digital footprints, and one very disturbing man hiding in plain sight. If you're new to Lurk, welcome to your new favorite corner of the podcast world, where true crime meets the uncanny and the ordinary turns sinister. For our seasoned Lurkers, you know the drill. Lock the doors, check your DMs, and whatever you do, don't trust every friend request. Let's get lurking. So, Taylor was born October 13th, 1986, in Vienna, Virginia, as the only child of Janet Pelissara and Matt Behl. She was raised primarily by her mother. Her parents were divorced.
They got divorced when she was the age of 2.
Yes. Taylor was 17 years old, living with her mother in Vienna, Virginia. She was well-traveled. She had lived abroad with her mother and her stepfather at the time, who was in the RAF, the Royal Air Force. She was a graduate of James Madison High School and became interested in attending Virginia Commonwealth University, or VCU, which is located on the west side of Richmond. She visited the campus multiple times prior to actually going. Mm-hmm. She never missed a curfew. She was an avid user of social media, and at the time it was MySpace, and MyPlace.com was a live journal for blogging that she also used. Not familiar with MyPlace.
I wasn't either. I took a deep dive into hers and Ben's live journals, because they are still active. Like, you can still read them.
I did not. Now, MySpace... I missed MySpace.
I had a MySpace.
Some people said she seemed a little bit naive in her posts that she had. She was described by friends and family as independent, bright, and driven. She had an adventurous spirit, loved photography, and writing. She enrolled at Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU, in Richmond in fall 2005 to study criminal justice. She was excited to start college and make new friends. She brought her skateboard, her camera, and a desire to live more freely. She had just spent Labor Day weekend at home with her mom and then headed back to college. Her roommate, Emma Ellsworth, says the last thing Taylor said to her was that she'd be back in 3 hours.
Yeah, Taylor was, what was her roommate's name?
Emma
had a guest over, and Taylor didn't want to, impede on that. So she's like, oh, I'll just go out, and took her skateboard and just left, and she's like, I'll be back soon, and that was that. So
she leaves her dorm at VCU around 8:30 in her white 1997 Ford Escort. Her roommate Emma said that she first got worried that something might be wrong when, quote, the next night when we realized she hadn't been back for a day. Her books were still there. She hadn't gone to any of her classes, which was odd. Emma notified the VCU campus police, who told Taylor's mom, Janet, that both her daughter and the car were missing. VCU police questioned friends and acquaintances. They wondered if Taylor could have simply just wandered off. Because again, college student, obviously they're just off on their own.
She's 17, and we're just going to be like, oh, she's fine. Like, hasn't been back for a day, doesn't... From what I read, she cared about school, she cared about her studies and things. Like, oh, she's just not going to come back and miss a day and not contact anybody.
Don't get me started on colleges and 17-year-olds and
the
crap that goes on with college administrations. I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in here. I can't. I'm not going to say anything personal. Specific personal.
Yeah.
Colleges are not there to take care of your children. Mm-mm. So if you're a parent and your kids are getting ready to go to college, do not think that administration is there to take care of your children, because they're not. They're there to take the money from your children. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
If you ask them point blank, how is the safety at this college campus? They are going to lie to you, and they're going to tell you it is very safe on campus. And they're going to give you a bunch of crap about how it's patrolled and all the stuff that, all these wonderful things and how safe it is. It's bullshit. It's a lie. They're going to tell you whatever they can to make you give them your money, period.
Yep.
So I just want to put it out there.
Yeah.
Do not go into looking at college in a naive way, like they love kids and they're going to make sure your kids are safe.
Yeah.
They're going to make an attempt.
Oh, to save face, save value of it all.
They're going to make an attempt. I'll just say, when my daughter went to college, there were 4 attacks on freshmen in 2 weeks. One of them was pretty serious. That's all I'm going to say. Leave it at that. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Would love to go into more detail, but that's it. Taylor's mom is desperate for information.
Yes.
Because she's probably not getting any.
No.
So she turns to the press to get the story out, and the search for Taylor goes nationwide.
Yes.
Which was a good thing. 10 days after Taylor's disappearance, VCU turns the case over to the Richmond police, which, let's wait 10 days.
Well, I have to say this too. So, it was stated students disappear from colleges all over the United States every year. So, most of them reappear. Stress, they need to get away, bad love affair, boredom. So, police don't overly get excited when a person disappears for a few days. And because VCU campus police had no evidence of foul play, initially they did very little regarding her disappearance. As the days went by, it was more difficult decision to stand by. So after 11 days of her missing, finally an Amber Alert was issued, resulting in the nationwide and then still nothing turned up. But finally, September 16th came along of 2005, and her disappearance was turned into a criminal investigation.
Liz is kind of chuckling, possibly because of my face.
I am, because you look more pissed, mortified.
I honestly did not realize how much this case was going to hit with certain things. And I should have asked if I could have shared the story, is really what I should have done. But I'm not going to share it because it's not my story directly. I mean, I'm involved. So I want to point out here, Taylor is not an adult.
She is 17.
Taylor is 17. Okay? Sometimes when kids go to college, they are not adults yet. They are 17. Are they almost adults? Yes.
Sure.
Honestly, I think we need to go back to colonial times, and you're not an adult until you're 21. Literally.
I totally agree with that. I mean, all of this, we'll get into more of this, but she was 17. The fact...
And a young 17.
Oh, yeah.
She was not... She was naive. She was...
Very naive.
I think she was coddled quite a bit. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. No. I just think she was protected.
Reading these journal entries from her, it was very, very naive. Very... I don't want to say childlike, because she's not childlike. But they were just very naive the way she was writing them. And I truly believe that you're putting children in an environment that is supposed to, like, shape them into adults. I think it's too much responsibility to put on somebody that is so young. Even though they may be eager to, like, get out there and be on their own, they are not mentally ready.
Some are. Like,
for sure. Not everybody.
You know, I don't want to say too many things about my own. I mean, I talk about my life all the time. But, you know, Ethan.
Yep.
Is just, how do I say this? He's a cocky son of a gun. So he thinks he's way more mature. He doesn't know everything. He thinks he knows everything. Yeah. He doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
But he's a little bit more knowledgeable about
certain things,
and he has a good head on his shoulder. You know, like, I would worry. I would worry because I'm a worrier. I would worry if he went away to college.
Yeah.
But I see him as somebody who is a little bit more ready to face something like that.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter was younger. She was 17, and that's why I'm so angry, you know, because 17 is not an adult.
No.
You know, they can't vote.
No.
So, you know, I don't, you know, again, whatever. So she's at this college. She's 17. It infuriates me that all of the police, now campus police, yeah, I can see them. I don't see them as real police. I'm sorry.
I don't see it either.
If you're a campus police officer and you do your job well, thank you, and I apologize. But too many times I have run into issues where they do not do their job very well because they're really not they're more show.
I was going to say it's
more show than go, in my opinion.
No, I agree with
They're
you.
there to quell fears of parents sending their children to college and not really there to actually investigate or do anything you know, like, you know, I'll walk, you know, like, we'll walk you to your car if you call us type of, you know, like, but to investigate a disappearance, absolutely not. I think the police should have been called in right away.
Oh my God, yeah, 11 days. Like,
the fact that they blew it off is infuriating because she is not an adult.
No.
She's not an adult. She's a pretty young girl who is in a city she is not familiar with. This is freshman year. This happened at the very beginning of freshman year. She is not a junior. She's not even towards the end of her freshman year where she's been there a little bit. She is brand new to the city. Brand new. Sorry. No. Boy, this is going to be a tough one. I apologize. I didn't think it was going to be this difficult. It didn't even occur to me that I would have so much, that I'd have so many feels, because I have no feelings.
Oh, Jesus.
Where was I? The Richmond Police Chief Rodney Monroe, he organized a task force made up of university, state, and federal investigators. The task force was mainly created just so that he could handle the volume of information that had to be processed. Mm-hmm. Her car is missing, and her cell phone is turned off. Janet Pelissara uses Taylor's MySpace account to appeal for information and to try to track her online activity. Public interest intensifies when the details emerge about Taylor's online presence and interactions with older men. Now, did you find that it was older men, or was it just the one?
It was just Ben. It was just Ben Foley. Yeah. She wasn't... No. She had a boyfriend, and she was friends with a lot of guys, but it wasn't older
men. It was only one.
It was only one
That's
guy.
what I thought.
She had... No. It was just the one that I found.
So, investigators begin examining Taylor's digital footprint, chat rooms, forums, and especially her MySpace friends. They zeroed in on a few individuals, but the one they really zeroed in on is Ben Foley, as Liz said. He went by the online name of Skulls, spelled Skulz. because that's kind of a juvenile online name.
God, I'm gonna have to get started on this, but
It's gonna be a tough one. I think we're gonna be very opinionated.
I have actual like monologues in my notes of like, because I am so furious about this.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
we thought it was gonna be short.
Yeah.
He had a gothic persona, morbid photography, disturbing self-portraits with weapons. He had a documented history of dating younger women. Described himself as a creative professional, but was unemployed and living with his girlfriend. Police focused on Foley after discovering he was the last person seen with Taylor. He was one of the last people to see her on the night of her disappearance. When they asked what happened when Taylor came over, Foley says she was upset because her boyfriend, I think he referred to him as her official boyfriend, had dumped her online. But police interviewed the boyfriend in question, Jacob Cunningham, and the police learned he and Taylor had had dinner that night, and they had made up. So they were fine. And there was no issue. So after questioning the boyfriend, it was determined he had an alibi. So Jacob Cunningham, not a suspect.
Correct.
He was not able to have done the murder.
No.
Done the murder. Well, I just gave that away. Jacob shared that Taylor had told him that she was planning on going skateboarding. The last sighting of Taylor that night, the night she disappeared, was captured on a campus surveillance video at 10:24 p.m.
Yeah, she was last seen leaving the Gladding Residence Center and got into her car with Foley. And that was the last she was seen.
After 10 days, there was a break when Taylor's car was found on a quiet residential street not far from campus. So detectives called in a bloodhound, which picked up a scent around the car, and that scent led them to a location 5 blocks away, which was the home of 23-year-old Jesse Schultz's relatives. Investigators searched the house, but came up empty. When they asked who the last person to visit the home was, they told them it was their nephew Jesse. Detectives brought Jesse in and questioned him for several hours. Later, they asked him to take a polygraph. The polygraph indicated that there was deception. Jesse insisted he did not know Taylor, and that, to his knowledge, he had never met her. As the days passed, his story began to ring true. Then police decided to take another look at Ben Foley, who, as I mentioned, was one of the last people to see her before she disappeared. Now, the car had a different license plate.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. So, okay. So the car, like you said, it was found in a residential area. It was about a couple miles from her dormitory. And it was kept under surveillance for 12 hours before they ever, approached it, I guess is the right word. After that, the car was turned over to the FBI for forensic analysts. So the police made this discovery. The car had Ohio license plates that had been stolen almost 2 months prior to Taylor's disappearance. So, in my opinion, this suggests that someone was planning something. Like, why would you take plates off of a car 2 months, do nothing with them, just hold on to them? But, I mean, whoever changed them, we know who, but whoever changed them obviously knew the police were going to be looking for a Virginia plated car, and all of a sudden now it has Ohio plates on it. So they did track them down. So the plates belong to a former Ohio resident who lives in Richmond. He was a former VCU student. He reported them stolen 2 months before Behl disappeared. The theft of the license plates from out-of-state cars is not actually an unusual occurrence in that area, which I thought was odd.
Richmond.
I know, but it's just odd. But
isn't that awful to say? It's Richmond.
But yeah, so I want to later, like when we go to the Gab section, after we go to the verdict and everything, I just have questions about some things that I wanted to talk to you about, because I just find the Ohio license plates very disturbing. Why would he steal them? I found nothing. Like, I read so much about him, unfortunately, this disgusting human being. I don't know why he would have had them. Unless this was premeditated. But we'll get there, but whatever.
Liz just is biting it. She's chomping at the bit. She just can't wait.
This, I mean, like you said, this case, it's just, something about it just really irks me the wrong way.
I didn't think I'd be so irked about this case. I honestly thought we were just going to go in here, wham, bam, here's the details, and here's my personal info about the area, and call it a day, and we'd have a 40-minute episode, but sorry, I don't think that's what's going to happen.
No.
So Ben Foley was known around campus for his colorful hair and his equally colorful sticker-covered van that was so distinctive that it was actually featured on local television. That's what I want my claim of fame to be. Foley had been a suspect almost from the very beginning. He lied about his timeline and his whereabouts. That and the fact that he knew Taylor made him a pretty good suspect. Foley first met Taylor in February of 2005 when she and her father visited colleges and checked out the VCU campus. Foley's first impression of Taylor was that she was a beautiful, attractive young lady. Taylor planned on staying over with a friend already enrolled at the university. Foley was that friend's roommate. Taylor's dad, Matt, spoke with Foley before leaving Taylor for the night. Matt Behl said that he had no reservations about leaving his daughter behind because Taylor was comfortable. He said Foley was, quote, very friendly, very personable, dressed a little differently, but appropriately for what you would think you would see on a college campus, end quote. What Matt didn't know was that...
This is the kicker.
was Foley was no longer a student at VCU. He was 37 years old. Matt thought Foley was in his mid-20s at the most.
And he has 2 young children.
He has 2 children.
Yeah, 2 little girls. Which, I'm going to go off a tangent on that one. But I can't believe 38 hanging around this area with all these college kids. Kids, because they're kids. And he's a grown-ass man.
He's 20 years older than her.
Ugh, disgusting.
After her visit to VCU campus, Taylor continued communicating with Foley by email, and when she visited the campus again, this time on her own, she again saw Foley. Taylor shared with her best friend in Vienna that she and Ben had actually been intimate. She said it was a one-time thing, that there were no regrets, but that she did not want to do it again.
Yes.
Which is important.
Yep. Very important.
One of Taylor's VCU friends, Aaron Craybill, dated Foley at one time. Asked what the attraction was, Craybill said, "You were the only person in the world. All his attention was on you, and he had all these crazy stories." She ended her relationship with Foley almost as soon as it began because she says he became very jealous. She said, "And the thing that caused me to end it was he broke into my apartment in the middle of the night." Craybill says Foley entered her apartment holding mace and a hammer. "I felt like I don't know what this man is capable of," she remembers. You think?
Yeah.
He has mace and a hammer.
Yep.
I wonder what he was thinking of doing.
Yeah, but...
I can't imagine.
Yeah. Luckily her boyfriend was there, though.
Detectives continued questioning Foley, and as they delved deeper into his past, they discovered a disturbing pattern. There were other young girls who had been in contact with him over the years that had been assaulted or were threatened by him. Foley was convicted of assaulting one former girlfriend in 2003. Investigators still needed proof linking Foley to Taylor's disappearance. Under questioning, the only thing he admitted to was having sex with Taylor, who was a minor at the time. As I've said numerous times, she's still 17.
Mm-hmm.
That violation gave detectives what they needed to search Foley's apartment.
Oh boy.
What they found disturbed even the most experienced investigators. Police say they discovered a massive amount of extremely graphic child pornography featuring children as young as 3 and 4 being raped.
Yep.
Foley naturally claims none of the pornography found in the apartment was him.
Yeah, he said, I read this article from Style Weekly. It was my roommate, Ben Foley, and it was this woman her name wasn't given. At least I didn't find it. But she moved in with Ben 2 months before he murdered Taylor. It's not a spoiler. He did it. But she saw all this porn. Not children porn. She didn't know that it was child pornography. He told her the previous tenant had died the previous summer and left hundreds of adult DVDs. So Ben wanted to sell them on eBay. So she was under the impression that they were just quote unquote regular porn. And like she was saying that how he would become so enraged about how it was so irresponsible that adults would allow pornography to find the hands of children to get a hold of this stuff, and he was just so just upset about it, and he wanted to ensure that nothing he sold would come near to anyone other than adults. Like she said he was so out of it, and she thought it was so weird that he would bring up how he didn't want children to get a hold of this porno. It's just strange. He again, very odd person.
Yeah.
That's putting it mildly.
Mm-hmm. No matter who owned the porn.
Yeah.
Possessing child pornography is a felony, and the police immediately arrested him. Mm-hmm. Thank God for that.
Seriously.
The search of Foley's computers yielded an unusual clue that led investigators to an unlikely crime solver, Foley's ex-girlfriend, Erin Craybill. On the computer were numerous random photos of abandoned buildings, secluded locations, maps, and weapons, along with photos of Taylor. In those photographs, because I've seen some of the photos, are photos from Old House Woods, ladies and gentlemen. You'll remember that from episode 2. He was at Old House Woods around the same time that Kelly and I were at Old House Woods, which is my connection, so was it 6 degrees of separation or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's 6 degrees of separation when a killer, and I don't think he's a serial killer at this point, but I think he was probably on his way to becoming one.
He could. I think he could have.
He could have.
Thank God they called him.
So yeah, that's where some of those the secluded location. I think there were maps of that area. Mm-hmm. That is creepy when you think. I mean, that, once again, no lights in that area, secluded, no cell service in that area either. Whatever. I do some really stupid stuff sometimes. I'm just sitting here thinking, how am I still alive? Like, I'm literally sitting here like, how are we still alive? Anyway, so online acquaintances described Foley as dark, creepy, and obsessed with photographing young women. But the porn wasn't his.
Yep.
Not his.
Oh, yeah.
Dead roommates.
Yep.
Foley is now the prime suspect in the disappearance of Taylor.
Yep.
At this point, the police were not expecting to find Taylor alive. They were basically looking to locate her body. Yeah. Investigators showed Foley's ex-girlfriend, Erin Craybill, thousands of images. She recognized one photo pulled off Foley's computer. It was of a small house near her parents' house. It's not a house. It's like the information I had said house. I know where it is. I've been there. It's not a house. It's like a shed.
Yeah.
It's got an A-frame. It's got like a pointed roof, like a peaked roof. I think I even have pictures of it. It is not a house. It's like a small barn or large shed.
She was quoted saying she was so close to the house, but she wasn't near. If she wasn't.
Well, this says it was a photo of a small house that was near her parents' house.
Oh,
that's what I mean. It's not a house. It's either a large shed, small barn. Mm-hmm. It is right near her parents' house.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably throw a rock at it with a good arm.
Yep.
After Craybill told 2 VCU cops how she had once taken Foley to the abandoned barn next to her parents' property, it was pure police instinct that led them to rural Mathews County, Virginia, some 90 miles from Virginia Commonwealth University. On October 5th, 2005, 1 month to the day after Taylor's disappearance, a badly decomposed body is found in a shallow grave on a remote farm in Mathews County, right next to the Aaron Craybill's parents' house. The area is located off Route 198 on private property that Foley was known to visit. Literally next to their house. Like, if you're looking at her parents' house, they don't live, I think they sold it. I don't think they live there anymore.
Good for them.
So you look at the house, and they have like manicured lawn, and to the right, there's like field, like overgrown field, and that's where the building is. I mean, it's not right up against the house, but it's
close enough.
Close enough. Mathews County is where Old House Woods is located. I go there a lot. The body's later confirmed through dental records to be Taylor Behl. There was an autopsy. Cause of death could not be definitively determined due to the decomposition. There were no signs of trauma or drugs, but evidence suggested possible asphyxiation. Investigators believe Taylor died the night she disappeared. In a rambling statement to police, Foley denied killing Taylor, though admitted he was with Taylor the night that she died. And I said that right, just in case you weren't listening clearly. He said he didn't kill her, but he was with her the same night that she died. Like, he was there, but he didn't do it. Mm-hmm. Foley claims that everything about that evening was consensual, starting with his picking up Taylor at her college dorm. Police discovered Foley on the college security videotape waiting just outside Taylor's dorm at 10:21 p.m. Minutes later, the same camera captured Taylor leaving. Foley said they ended up at his apartment. He started drinking and she encouraged him. He said he drank a bit and also took narcotics. According to Foley, Taylor was a daring teenager out for a thrill. He also said there was much more that she wanted to do, so they drove her car out towards Mathews County and started to play a different, far deadlier game. Taylor wanted to try a game she allegedly called Drunk Monkey. Basically, Taylor wanted to try erotic asphyxia. Break in here for anybody who doesn't know what erotic asphyxia is, and I know what it is. It's basically when you get your partner to strangle you to cut off your air, and it's supposed to enhance orgasm. There's another one, if you don't have a partner, you can attempt to do it yourself. Mm-hmm. It's called autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yes.
Okay? That's people die. They die hanging themselves while they're doing this. It happens
more often than you think.
Yes. Don't do it. I'm not offering these as fun things to do.
Yeah, no.
Foley claims that he had never heard of erotic asphyxia before that night. I
highly doubt that.
I know what it. I've never done it. I mean, just so you know, I don't know. I mean,
thank God I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight knowing this.
I feel like I need to. I don't know about it because I'm interested in it. I know about it because I listen to true crime.
Oh, yeah.
And I was a psychology student, and I'm in the Psi Beta, the Honor Society for Psychology Students. That's why I know about it. Because it's a mental thing. That night, Foley says Taylor wanted to pass out during sex for the ultimate orgasm. He claimed that at her urging during sex in the backseat of her car, he tried various ways to restrict Taylor's breathing. She wanted me to put a bag over her head, he said. We tried that several times.
Because there is nothing more sensual than getting your partner to put a bag over your head during sex. That is the most asinine thing. And he's telling officers this. Like, this is, the truth. That's not the truth. Like, that is so much bullshit.
Foley says he held it over her nose and mouth. At first I thought she was laughing because we fell off the seat. I thought everything was fine and dandy, but she passed out. And that's what she wanted.
What an...
But then he was unable to wake her up. Asked why he didn't call for help, Foley says he thought about it but didn't, because by the time I tried to wake her up, what was running through my head was, I'm in some serious shit here.
Unbelievable. Well, yes, go on. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just...
Foley then claimed he panicked again and that he drove the body of Taylor back to Richmond, left her in her car, went to sleep, and then a day later returned to Mathews County, dug a shallow grave, and left the once vibrant girl by the side of the road.
I don't know if you found this, but I have to jump in here because so he's saying he did this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe he kept her body in the car, drove it back. I think he unfortunately dumped her body that night. I don't think there was this backtracking because he comes back to say so in the article I was reading about the roommate, she was saying that he had returned, that morning, and then early afternoon he comes back from the bank, or she comes back from the bank to find Ben huddled on the couch in their apartment, clutching his stomach, saying, quote, "Be careful out there," he grunts. "I just got jumped." As he recounted the events of the attack, she listened shocked. "I remember looking through the window into the yard next door, considering whether he was schizophrenic." The freaking roommate was even thinking, this is insane. She said the story seemed so implausible. He was just making up all this stuff. I think Taylor fought back because he had visible, like, oh, how am I going to explain this to my roommate? Oh, I'm going to lie and say I got jumped. I mean, I truly think that he just, I don't know.
I think anybody, okay, somebody's on top of you and smothering you with a bag, because I think that's 100% accurate.
Yep.
I think that's how she died.
Yeah.
I don't think that was at her request.
No, I think there's always a little bit of truth sprinkled in.
Yes. So, somebody's on top of you smothering you with a bag. Are you going to lay there?
No.
You're going to struggle. You're struggling to breathe. You're struggling. I think she was kicking and everything else. And so I think he was injured. And I think she did it. I hope she did it.
I hope she kicked his ass.
I hope she kicked him in the balls. My opinion is I think this took place in the parking area of the beach.
Oh, okay. Valid.
Either the parking area of the beach. Well, when was this? September. Or on the beach. Late at night, there's not a whole lot of people there. No. Except for me. I'm the dummy out there with other, like Kelly and I and my mom. Sometimes the grandkids, we're at the beach at night.
Yeah.
It's secluded.
Very secluded.
I don't think he was pulled off in that area there where they found her. I don't think it happened there because it's a road.
Yeah.
There is a house right there. There's not really any room. Also, in Mathews County, there are ditches full of water. Deep ditches full of water on both sides of narrow roads. The roads are not big, wide roads. No. A lot of them don't even have double yellow lines.
This is true. I remember my first time going, with you guys, and it was very jarring. Yeah,
especially like in the rural area where this.
Well, that's what I mean, like the beat. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are not double yellow lines. There are ditches on either side full of water. I mean, you're right near the Chesapeake Bay here. It's right stone's throw from the Chesapeake Bay. So there's a lot of low-lying water. These ditches I've never seen them empty, ever. So they're always full of water. Pulling off to the side of the road,
implausible.
In some areas you can a little bit.
Yeah, but not to the extent I think
but
he was
you really
implying.
can't get off the road in most places unless you're like in somebody's yard. In which case, you're going to be seen.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm thinking it had to have been in the parking lot for the beach or on the beach.
Yeah. I agree with you.
That's what I've always thought.
It's fair.
Which is disturbing.
Yeah. Oh, I want to go on about his day, because this is just insane to me. Like, this man murdered the 17-year-old girl, and okay, so that night, they're pouring over finally the police are, on his trail, and they're pouring over his phone records. They learn that his first call from returning from this crime that night, he called UPS to check the status of some packages. That was his first phone call. And then he calmly just went about his daily activities. He also, everybody's searching for her. He continued to host friends at his apartment, and he planned social outings. And he was even, near his home, his apartment, and the dorms and stuff, handing, it said on the curb, he was talking with people about Taylor's missing and all this stuff. And he even approached Janet, her mother, and just was talking about how sad he was to see that Taylor was gone. So he injected himself into this investigation. He acted like nothing happened. He did nothing wrong. I don't know. I think he did have a mental health issue, because normal people just don't go about, I murdered somebody that night, and then I'm going to go talk to you about, oh, I'm so sorry that, your friend's missing, even though I'm the one that did.
Sure they do.
What do you mean?
Sociopaths?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
What do you mean he was a sociopath?
Yeah.
I was thinking the roommate said he was schizophrenia.
Yeah, that she thought
schizophrenics tend to be more self-harm than harming other people.
Yeah. That was just her saying.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just, obviously he had something mentally wrong with him, because there's no way.
He's a sociopath, or
he's something. He's
psychopath. I don't know. I get them confused. He was messed up.
He was.
He was an evil person
that targeted children.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. He actually talked to her mother, and was offering condolences and things, and
knowing the whole time that she was dead and buried.
Yep. And he did it. I thought that was just insane.
So yeah, and I just want to point out, it probably takes a good hour and a half, maybe longer, between an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on traffic, to get from Richmond to Mathews County, where this happened. So you're going to drive all the way out there, kill her, drive that length. We'll say an hour and a half.
Sure.
We'll say an hour and a half. Drive an hour and a half back, leave her body in the car, hoping that nobody sees it.
Yeah.
And then drive back and spend 3 more hours on the road.
Yeah, on the chance of not
getting pulled over.
Yeah, I think
that doesn't make any sense.
No.
He killed her and buried her the same time.
Yeah.
And he knew he picked that location. I think it was to get at the ex-girlfriend, Erin Crable. That's why she was buried next to her parents' house.
Which is insane.
Yeah. As we said, by the time her body was discovered, a month after her disappearance, it was impossible to tell exactly how she had died, and Foley was charged with first-degree murder. One day after what should have been a celebration of Taylor's 18th birthday, family and friends were instead mourning Taylor's death. In August of 2006, Foley accepts a plea deal. He pleads guilty to second-degree murder, claims Taylor's death was accidental, says they were having rough sex and she stopped breathing. The prosecution doesn't fully buy his story, but agrees to the plea to avoid trial complexities. He's sentenced to 30 years in prison with no possibility of parole. Janet Pelissara became an advocate for internet safety and awareness. The case sparked national dialogue on the dangers of social media and online predators. VCU increased safety measures and campus security protocols. Ben Foley is scheduled to be released from prison in 2031, so that's 6 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
He will be 64 years old. Taylor's friend, Erin Crable, received $20,000 reward for assisting the investigation. She established a fund for women in crisis with part of the money in honor of Taylor Behl. A scholarship was established in Taylor's name to help young women pursue higher education. So, I mean, some good came out of it, because I do think back then the internet was still new and like social media was just starting.
Yep.
And people were sharing way too much stuff online.
I
Even today they share way too much stuff online. I mean, was it the last episode we recorded? The Colonial Parkway episode?
Oh, yeah.
Where I stopped and didn't say the town. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't say the town. And I mentioned I try not to, because I've had people online that seem a little bit odd. And I don't really want them to know where I am.
No, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to jump in since you're talking about this online presence.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about, so I thought this was funny. I think you might find it humorous too. So a lot of these sites, or these articles written in '05, they call them, these online journals and stuff, their own websites. The way they made it, they're like, yeah, their own websites. I'm like, what are they talking about? They just mean like the platform. I thought that was funny, but
like their blog is their website.
Yeah, their own websites. I'm like, who is making? Because they're like, yeah, Ben Foley has like 5 websites. I'm like, what?
No.
I'm like, what is that? I'm like, okay. So I took a dive into this. So I was reading through Taylor's live journals. Honestly, it was pretty jarring. I had to stop because at one point it just got to be too real, and yeah. It was so personal. I don't think she intended strangers like myself to read it. So I did stop, but I did read this one I want to talk about. She did this whole thing, like people still do it now on Facebook, where it's like 3 things, and like name 3 things, your favorite foods, or 3 things you want to do.
Name 25 things nobody knows about you.
Yeah. So she did this whole thing, and it was like a whole bunch of like 3 things you want to do blank, or 3 things you want to. So this one stuck out: 3 things you want to do before you die, and this hit like, oh God. 1, be happy.
I think she did that.
I think
she
so
seemed like
too.
she was a happy person.
2, make a difference in someone's life.
I think she's done that.
I know.
I think she did it in her death. Because of her death, she made a difference because of everything that was changed.
Yep. And then the 3rd, find real love. And I think she was just looking for it in the wrong. Like, I know it was said that she didn't, sleep with him after the one time. I don't think she was looking at him for love, but I just find it so disturbing that she just was curious. She just slept with him. It wasn't like a big thing. He took it, to the extreme. This just hit really hard. Be happy, make a difference in someone's life, and find real love. And it's like, poor girl died. I think it was a couple weeks after she wrote this. So it was so sad. And then this one, which makes Foley seem gross and disgusting, which he is.
Because he's not already gross.
Yeah, this is like, so she wrote, if you read this, even if I don't speak to you often, you must post a memory of me. It can be anything you want, good or bad, just as long as it happened. Then post this to your journal and see what people remember about you. People do this now with Facebook.
They do it on Facebook.
He responds, this very attractive girl climbed into my bunk at 4:07, the last girl to do so before the move. And then she replies, well, I was curious, and 3 days after that response on April 11th, Ben commented again, so was I. Fact, I still am. He's 38 years old. She's 17. Like
20 years difference.
Yeah, and he is disgusting. I couldn't believe that he posted, like, ugh, and then, so, going on, so, this one thing, 5 days later, he makes a journal entry, he deletes it, and then Taylor comes to him to Virginia to visit, and he puts, Taylor should be here around noon, but then who knows, if she does, I plan on taking off to take photos in that spot I want to take some photos in. I think it would be a great place for photos. I wanted to take another there, but I don't think that will happen, and Taylor is game. He writes like he's 2. Like, this whole thing is just insane. So he continues to say, then he talks about how Taylor came down to Richmond to visit him for the weekend. They went out to Bell's Isle, amongst other things. I got some photos, not as many as I would have liked, but Taylor looked cold. So all this stuff is happening. And then I was reading one of his ex-girlfriends posts in the same Live journal. I don't really know how Live journals work. I don't know if you do. But, like,
no.
The way that the way it was written was just odd. This ex mentions how she likes the spot on Bell's Isle because the sex in the woods that they had. She posted that. It's just, I don't know. It was just so weird. Like, I think about Facebook now and how unhinged it is. I'm like thinking about like how the Live journal's like, that's such a private thing. I would never put sex in the woods was fun, silly boy. That's what she put. Like, I don't know.
People, I think, in, like, stuff like that.
You can cut this. It doesn't matter.
No,
I just want to talk
no.
to you about it. It's just weird.
I think people, especially then, had some semblance of it, nobody else seeing it.
Fair.
Like, it's just these people commenting on it
Mm-hmm.
and not really thinking about the fact that somebody can come along and read it.
Yeah.
Not thinking that somebody's going to search it out or find it and read it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, not that they were private, but they had this thought that
Yeah.
it was, you know,
It was
nobody
more of a-
really got it.
No.
Nobody really got it.
They were on their own little bubble, and it's just, you know.
But the internet was around for, what, 10 years at this
that point? Yeah.
It was 10 years.
Yeah.
So it was all still new.
Mm-hmm. True.
Oh my gosh. And people just really did not have a sense of safety. I mean, they really didn't realize that. I mean, even today, there are things that
People
sometimes
share.
these kids share. I mean, I see people talking about how they're going on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, why are you doing that? Because now somebody knows you're not going to be home.
Yep. Yeah.
And they can break into your house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, I mean, I say that and I'm like, well, I comment about things going away. But guess what? I go away by myself. So there's
Yeah.
still people at my house.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. The internet, people know more now than they did, but
Yeah.
some people still don't get it. That
I
you
agree.
need to be careful.
Yeah.
You can't assume that everybody is your friend.
Yeah, they have the best intentions for you.
Says the person. Well, I just think it's funny that my new cousins, that they're like, hey, come over to this haunted house. And Kelly and I are like, sure,
We'll be right over.
We'll be right over. And 4 hours later, my son's like, are you alive? You know?
And I get that. I don't know. I just was reading it. And like I said, I did stop. I only read it for maybe 10 minutes. But I just couldn't believe... I don't know. I shouldn't be shocked. I really shouldn't. But it was just reading this stuff and, like, how these people were so open. Not Taylor per se, but, like, him. Like, she's 17 and he's flaunting the fact...
He wanted it. He wanted the attention from this.
Yes.
He wanted the attention. He wanted the shock factor. I honestly think that's why he said a lot of what he did. And he wanted to shock people in a bad way.
Oh, yeah.
Not like... where they're like, oh my gosh, that photo's great. You know, like, I'm so shocked at what great artist you are. No, he wanted the morbid shock factor.
I agree.
Like, gee, that's disturbing. You know, like, that's what he wanted. You know, but girl, I don't know. You know what? This is my PSA. I did the whole college thing in the beginning. Do not be stupid with people online.
Yeah.
That's the thing now, is to meet people on dating apps. Online. I met my husband online.
I'm meeting my husband online. We met on Tinder.
Yes, but you didn't officially meet him in person.
I met him here.
Just so you know. Yeah. Liz, we were having a Christmas party and we had him come to the party to meet Liz because there were like 30 people here at this house.
Yeah.
So there isn't a safer place.
Yeah. It was just funny. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how she met him here. But that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's great. You can meet really great people online. I have met some decent people online who have become friends
Oh, yeah.
in real life. I met my husband online. Sorry, face again.
So funny.
You know, but you don't, if you decide, okay, I want to meet this, I want to continue this relationship in real life, then you don't just go meet them and don't say anything.
Yeah. Always tell.
You give everybody you give multiple people your details. This is where we're going. This is what show them a picture. This is what they look like. You know, if you know the car they're driving, this is the kind of car they drive. You know, I will be
Take a
home
picture
by
of their
this time.
license plate. If you're going on a date, take a picture of their license plate, send it to, you know, at least 2 people.
Yes.
And then that way, I'm not kidding, like, that was something I did before.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be careful. It's better to be overly cautious than dead.
Yep. Oh, I agree.
I mean,
look like a fool. I just didn't matter.
yeah.
You're alive still.
who
Like,
cares?
yeah.
Literally, we had the Uber from hell
oh, God.
a couple years ago in Virginia. They didn't speak English. We didn't speak Spanish. They ended up being nice people.
Oh, yeah, they were very pleasant.
But the
we
people
didn't-
who set up the Uber didn't speak English very good.
It was a big thing. Like,
It was
honestly, I don't even think it
disguised.
was an Uber.
It wasn't. I think that was the problem. It was them earning some money on the side, and
Yeah.
it was the tow truck driver guy who didn't speak English. It was his cousin and I think the cousin brought his wife because we were 3 women. It was
Yeah.
myself, Liz, and my mom. I might have told the story a long time ago, but
Too bad you're hearing it
You're
again.
hearing it again. The car broke down. We're in the middle of frickin' nowhere in Virginia, and outside of Newmarket, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Tow truck comes, tows us off. There's literally an abandoned church and a mechanic shop.
That's it.
That's it. The van is toast, and we have to get to the hotel for the Bigfoot convention because of course that's what we're doing.
That's exactly what we're
and they pick up the fake Uber because it
was
wasn't
not an
It was
Uber.
not an Uber. I the whole time am like constantly like, okay, if something happens, this is what I'm going to do. The entire time I had a game plan going. In the meantime, Liz is we watch way too much true crime.
Yeah.
Liz is following our route on maps and screenshotting every so often and texting her boyfriend, now fiance, this is where we are. This is where we are. This is where we are. Did we get to the hotel? Of course. Are we
Yeah.
dead? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They were very nice. And
yeah.
he brought his wife, and I think he did that because
Help.
I think he recognized there's a language barrier.
Yep.
And we're women.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he did that. He also had the gospel music on. And I think that was also
To help.
to help.
ease.
Like, see, we listen to gospel music.
It was.
Not always the way to win me over, but
Yeah, no,
you
me
know,
neither.
I just think he was trying to make it more comfortable for us.
Yeah.
But my point is, if you're in a situation, think and be smart. Like, don't be naive and stupid.
Yeah.
Have a brain. You have a brain.
Use
it. I guess on that note, and that wraps up this Stab and Gab Sunday edition of Lurk. Taylor Behl's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how vulnerable even the brightest among us can be, especially in a world where predators don't need to stalk the streets, they can scroll through the profiles. It's a case that left a mother without answers for far too long, a campus forever changed, and a warning that still echoes across every social media platform. Taylor wasn't reckless, she wasn't naive, she was just trying to live her life, and someone took that away. If this story has you thinking twice about online safety, about who we let into our lives, then maybe that's the legacy Taylor leaves behind. Awareness, caution, and the demand for justice, even when it comes far too late. You can find Lurk on all major podcast platforms, or head over to lurkpodcast.com for episode notes, blog posts, and more. Follow us on social media to stay updated, and if you've got a theory, a case suggestion, or just a creepy hometown tale, we're all ears. If this episode hit you hard, share it with your fellow true crime fans, leave us a review, and help keep Taylor's story, and others like hers, from being forgotten. Until next time, stay safe, be skeptical of strangers, and as always, keep lurking.